After obtaining my 123rd Platinum Trophy, a close friend convinced me to share my Platinum experiences with the world. So join me as I Platinum. Coming off the heels of a 207-hour Platinum, I needed to play something that was less time intensive, less open worldy, and more polished, which brought me to Pragmata. Now, I've wanted to play this game ever since we saw its first trailer back in 2020, and after playing the demo, it further pushed my need to not only play, but platinum this game, because I platinum nearly everything that I touch. You can say that I have the platinum touch. And with an estimated 30-hour platinum time, along with a 6 out of 10 difficulty rating, this was exactly what I needed to play. I mean, that was like 170 hours less than my previous platinum. And since you're watching this video, you know that I platinumed it. But what came out of this experience was something that I didn't even expect. Something that honestly made me question whether my brain chemistry fundamentally changed. So without further ado, get comfy, grab a snack, and enjoy my latest platinum experience. Before we begin, I'd like to apologize for the fact that my camera was in the way of the hacking. I didn't notice this until I had finished the story, so it'll only last for the first chapter. But anywho, Pragmata's platinum journey followed a more standard route than my previous endeavor. Due to its linear story and lack of many missable trophies, my first goal was to complete the story. As with many single-player campaigns, I started my journey fending off against some low-level robots to get a feel for the game. Alone, Hugh, our protagonist, is nothing against these grunts, but with the help of Diana and her hacking, they were a piece of cake. After a few more tutorials and slaying some more bots, the first trophy was mine. Oh, that is some good art! Holy crap! Is this like the best trophy art? Wow. The next part of the story took me into Sector 1, giving me my first real glimpse into Pragmata's gameplay loop, which basically consisted of killing some robots, hacking a little bit, and when my health starts looking low, going back into our safe zone to replenish my health. And a lot of this was very familiar to me because I had already played the demo, which essentially covered Sector 1. What wasn't familiar to me was this creepy noise. Hey, let's go. Also, I didn't recall seeing any of these holographic walls. What the? Hey, finally! I got into this place. After doing a little bit more of the same, I came across my first boss, which I had already faced in the demo, so you know that I handled this boss with ease. Oh shit! Oh. Fuck! Where'd it go? Oh my god! Bro! Okay. Dude, what the hell? You're supposed to move that from the video. What? We gotta make it look like he's a god at this game. He kinda already ruined that perception with his last video. Psst. Whatever. It's already too late. Quickly coming to the understanding that I was not amazing at this game, it was time to get a better feel for the game by looking into more of the mechanics. So after some minor improvements, it was back to fighting my first boss. Which, believe it or not, I actually took out with ease this time. That's it, right? Yeah! Let's go. Grab that stuff, but... Yeah! Got me. I forgot what the freaking words are. Got me up all night. Always singing them love songs. They got me up all night. That's Power Trip, right? And to celebrate my victory, I came bearing gifts from my favorite hacker, which gave me another trophy. Yeah, let's go. That's how we do it. Ooh. But you can't just simply give gifts and expect to build a strong rapport with someone. You need to have conversations. You need to learn from each other. So of course I had to have some small talk with Diana as well, which netted another trophy. He's cooking. He's cooking. Whoa! Okay. Did she bump into me? What's going on? Now, back to the actual campaign, completing Sector 1 allows both Hugh and Diana to go into Sector 2, where the comms tower lies. Which is great, because once we're in the comms tower, we can tell everyone on Earth how fucked up the situation is. There was only one problem. Hey! So, my next goal was to go to 6 separate parts in Sector 2 and unlock all 6 of these panels. And you already know the idea. Kill some bots, find some collectibles, heal when we need to, fight the giant baby from Angelica's nightmares. That one's for you, 90s babies. We're in this together. After taking out that creepy baby, I set my sights for the only missable trophy in the game, which involved destroying the sweeper bot. A bot that runs away and has a crazy hacking display. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. Ooh, let's go. That was easy. So far, I was coming close to death. A lot. But I wasn't meeting death. I always had the wherewithal to leave when things looked bad and heal up. But that looked like it was all about to change. Oh my god. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck was that? Ass. That freaking thing destroyed me. You know, when you almost meet death like that, the only thing that can make you feel better is receiving some art from your favorite companion. Oh, hey.
Is this supposed to be when we first boarded the train?
Shitty AI art. Just kidding. Man, if I hadn't seen people call this AI art online, I would have busted out a tear right now. Hey, oh, that trophy's so cute. After encountering one of the sweetest moments this game had to offer, I then encountered one of the sickest moments this game had to offer. Hey, hey, whoa, what is this? Defeat 3 enemies at the same time. Hey, let's go. Personally, I believe one of the most fun mechanics that games have to offer, specifically single player games, is when you unlock an item that allows you to venture into areas that were previously impossible. Like when you obtain the long shot in Ocarina of Time. Well, later into Sector 2, Diana obtains an upgrade that lets her erase limb, thus giving me access to way more places. Rosie, I love this game. With this new power in tow, the only way to pay Diana back was by giving her more Earth memories. And without even knowing it, I completed my first set. Hey, I didn't know that was a thing. Look, it's a room now. At this point, I had already unlocked all the panels, so I took on my next boss. And unlike the last boss, this one didn't even kill me once.
Guess it's my turn.
Okay. Open up. Bastard. There we go. Oh man, that's gonna be a fight later on. So now I can ask for help from Earth, except Edis, the software causing all of this headache in the first place, denies any communication accessibility. So it's back to exploring more sectors. But now something else has been added to the mix. I had previously ran into a cat, but now that cat is speaking and even goes by the name of 8. And they're in trouble. And after tugging at Diana's mechanical heartstrings, this pulls me towards a new motivation. Save 8. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Well, there's something going down. Let's go find out what.
Ooh, that's a nice trophy. This might be some of the best, might be top three trophy arts in the game. But before setting off to Sector 3, I took a look at some of the new features that came with defeating the second boss, which included the training sim, a training simulation featuring over 30 different scenarios with a plethora of rewards. And after making short work of the first scenario, I earned myself another trophy. Unfortunately, I realized too late that I wasn't recording. Completed my first training sim. I actually completed 4 of them, but I wasn't recording. So it happens when you don't record for 2 days. My fault. After making some brief improvements to my gear, it was back to the story. At this point, I finally started slowing down my pace with the game, as I had finally purchased the object scan ability, which allowed all object types to be visible via scan. This led to a lot more sidetracking, but more benefits. Perhaps it was due to the sidetracking, but the game felt more aggressive from here on out. More fights were happening at every turn. There was never a dull moment. It was awesome. And finally, after navigating through so many obstacles, I found myself another Pragmata.
Thank you.
Oh, another Pragmata. Oh, look at the trophy art.
What's up?
With the desperation to save 8 magnifying, I found myself in even more problematic situations. Oh my god. I keep dying from its tail. One thing I really loved about this game was that some bosses felt difficult to me, but I never felt helpless. It was very easy to read their moves. This boss specifically only took me a few attempts. Got it. Ooh.
Only hit me like once the whole time.
After taking care of another boss, the story carried on, and I had to unfortunately leave 8 behind. But that was okay, because something told me that we were going to meet again.
Damn.
Oh. Oh, look at that art. Bro, I need to get the platinum to this game because the art is phenomenal. With Sector 3 cleared, I moved on to Sector 4, which primarily took place on the moon. Now, to be fair, this entire game takes place on the moon, but the gravity felt different in this area, and you could see the frickin' stars. Anyways, this part was annoying because this damn worm kept popping its head out and there wasn't a way to beat it. But after a while, I just ignored it as I made my way to the next boss, which ended up being the worm. In hindsight, this fight didn't take that long, and it only took me 2 attempts. But at the time, it felt like I spent close to an hour fighting this long-necked buffoon. Regardless, it was apparent that myself, Hugh, and Diana were glad to be done with it.
Come on, come on. Kill him. Blank. That should be it.
I finally beat the boss. Bastards.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Hey, yo, Diana, don't say that shit. The fuck?
With the giant worm out of the way, Edis took it into its own hands to take out this band of warriors. But Diana had other plans.
Damn, look at her go.
With Edis out of the way, Hugh and Diana could make their way back home and warn of what occurred on the moon. But we know that ain't gonna happen.
Hey,
What is all that?
I knew 8 was bad.
Damn! After getting introduced to dead filament, a byproduct of Luna filament, and very dangerous to the human race, I found out that 8 plans to spread it across the earth. She's sick. So it's up to me, well,
Damn, her
Hugh and
leg
Diana,
and
to
arm
stop
got
her.
destroyed?
Unfortunately, Diana isn't doing too well, so she needs to get repaired, but not before I obtain myself another trophy.
Let's head back. We need to regroup.
That was unfortunate. Despite being gravely injured, this next portion was more of the same. The only issue was Diana's hacking was a little busted, but this was short-lived, as I would soon get Diana repaired while also receiving the final major upgrade to her kit, thus allowing her to delete dead filament from areas and giving me access to everywhere in the previous maps. But more on that later.
Right.
Oh, that is a clean-looking trophy. With the final chapter and sector ahead of me, I had to make one last gasp at upgrading my gear, which incidentally came with another trophy. Oh!
Didn't expect to get that.
Believe it or not, it wasn't until this point in the game that I really started feeling confident in my combat skills. So after almost 10 hours of gameplay, I finally took on my first red zone and received another trophy.
Damn.
With my confidence on another level, I cooked through the remaining enemies before taking on the Sentinel. And like the enemies before, Sentinel was a piece of cake.
Fuck him up. Yeah, that is a fire looking trophy. Whoa, looks like a Pokemon.
Despite taking out another boss, Sector 6 was far from over, so I continued taking out more enemies, and again unknowingly triggering some trophies along the way.
The video? Ooh, just got a trophy. What the hell is that for? From Full Metal?
You wanna go back to the center?
Not him. Yes. Is that all the escapes?
With Escape Artist secured, I was only a few feet away from taking on the final boss in this game, 8. And considering my confidence was on the highest of highs, I went into the fight with no further preparations done. And at first, it looked like things would go as I had hoped.
Oh.
But due to my lack of experience with this boss, I ended up biting off more than I could chew.
No! Oh, he attacked from top! Fuck!
After changing my hacking nodes, I decided to jump back into the fight. I wasn't too concerned about the difficulty since I had done a crazy amount of damage in the first fight, but I still just couldn't get over that final hump.
Damn it! Damn it, bro. That part is crazy.
Before jumping into my third attempt, I changed up my mods to best suit this fight. But honestly, I don't even think that made a difference. As I had previously noted, I loved how easy it was to read each boss's moves, how quickly I was able to adapt, because as you will see, I ended up making quick work out of 8. I made sure I was lowering her defense prior to critical attacks, so that they dealt more damage. I attacked weak points while adding on heat nodes to overheat 8, and I did my best Ultra Instinct impersonation while dodging the bombardment of missiles. As you can see from my health, 8 didn't stand a chance against me on my third attempt, as I didn't even get touched once. And thanks to Diana's insane upgrades, she was able to put an end to 8's terror.
Being with you made me stronger. I am
Oh?
Diana!
She is Diana! Come on now.
But not the end of the dead filament. What followed was a cinematic, albeit easy final boss fight against Dead Filament Incarnate. And of course, this featured a trophy and ended in a bang.
Oh, who needs guns, man? When you got Diana.
Let me try.
Oh, let's go, Diana. 00011. Oh, she's so awesome.
With the monster gone and 8 eliminated, all there was left to do was to fly back to Earth and end this fun and emotional story. But we all know things are never that easy. Hugh was attacked with dead filament at the end of Sector 4, and this proved to be what ended a beautiful bond between a man and android. Considering I'd heard numerous accounts of people getting emotional during this game, I figured something like this would happen, plus they hinted at his illness for most of Sector 6. So I held strong, but there's only so many times that you can see this ending before it finally gets to you.
Whew. Oh, look at that trophy. Oh, that's cute.
With Pragmata's campaign officially over, I set my sights on Unknown Signal, Pragmata's post-game that offers a subtle change to the ending after completing it. This gave me access to a new sector that could only be completed after 100%ing the previous 6 sectors. Additionally, I would have to fight enhanced versions of the original 5 bosses. Prior to jumping into the new content, Diana asked me to participate in a small game of hide and seek, and after thinking the game had it out for me, I was finally able to catch Diana.
Wow.
There we go.
You're so good at this. You won't find me next time.
Yeah! I knew that was a trophy.
Before I could clean up the previous sectors, I needed to get introduced to the new content, which mostly consisted of combat and movement challenges. To be honest, these felt much easier than the simulations. Perhaps it was due to the simple nature that you just needed to beat each mission, whereas the simulations had non-required side tasks tied to each one.
That should help you get around.
Wow, that was awesome. That was a good rewards.
Little did I know that beating the first of 10 secret missions would unlock my favorite mod that this game had to offer.
Oh, wait. Wait. All the way? That's kind of OP.
My go-to strategy for beating every enemy in this game has been to overheat them, and then hit them with a critical hit. This required lots of hacking, and you're telling me this mod would reload my primary unit after each successful hack? That was a game changer and completely flipped this game's difficulty on its head. With all of Diana's power-ups, along with the greatest mod in this game at the ready, I began my journey cleaning up all previous sectors, notching my first 100% sector in less than 20 minutes.
Nice. What is that? Oh, nice. Our first 100%. It just happens to be the last one.
With Sector 6, theoretically the hardest sector in the game, completed, I started backtracking through the rest, and with the help of the object scan ability, this was a walk in the park. None of the robots had a chance against my upgraded weapons.
Oh, let's go. It's over 6,000!
And with my rewards stacking, I started turning my sights towards Cabin's Stamp Club, since additional nodes and guns were locked behind this system, and those would be required for another trophy down the road.
I got a couple fits. Hey, Blackout! I got a trophy. What the?
Complete a Cabin stamp board. Okay. After clearing out all 6 sectors, I set my sights on the remaining combat trophies.
Courage and desperation. Nice! There we go. Nice.
And with all that done, there was only one thing left to do that wasn't tracked with the other sector collectibles. Shooting every mini cabin.
There we go. It's a nice little trophy. That's a gold one too. Okay.
Technically, I wasn't done with the backtracking. I still needed to rematch every boss, but I wanted to get as strong as I possibly could, so I set my sights towards completing all simulations. This would net me a pretty gold trophy and a ton of upgradable currencies. For the most part, these are pretty simple, but occasionally I found myself trying to complete specific tasks outside of the main objectives, and this forced me to retry multiple challenges multiple times. And I'd like to issue a warning to anyone interested in platinuming this game. Don't save the challenges for the very end of the game. I ended up doing the last 26 challenges all in one go, and it was draining. Don't be like me. With all the Luna filaments, upgrade components, and cabin coins piling up, I earned enough coins to finally obtain the last collectible trophy.
Hey, let's go. Can't stop, won't stop. Wait, what? That's for getting all the weapons? Wait.
Now, a little bird had told me that I obtained another weapon after finishing the 10 secret missions. So this trophy was a complete surprise. What wasn't a surprise was my next trophy, which dropped as soon as I completed the final simulation.
Talking about. There we go. Master of the simulator, baby. Woo!
It was time to take on all previously fallen bosses who, like me, have grown since our last fights. And let's be honest with each other, did we really think I was going to struggle with these guys? I took them all out in the first go, with some falling a lot quicker than others. These robots were either a joke, or I'm just that good. With every boss taken care of, I officially unlocked every secret mission in the Unknown Signal. And again, these felt much easier than the simulations, despite each mission taking much longer than your average simulation, because they were simply longer by comparison. My hard work culminated in a rematch with 8, and like the previous bosses, this one was cake.
Damn, bro. Oh my god.
The previous bosses to this point felt very similar to their previous versions, but that was not the case with 8. Immediately, I started noticing differences in 8's attacks compared to our initial fight, but throughout my second attempt, I struggled to read these attacks.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay. Well, I was close, but I figured out how to fight him. Again.
I wasn't in complete trouble though, as my previous tactics of critical attacking continued to flourish.
Take this.
Damn. It was a battle of attrition, as both 8 and I were slowly wearing down the other with no clear signs of winning from either side. But finally, after consistently building up 8's heat gauge, another stun gave me my second win against the pragmatic menace.
Yeah, got it.
And like the previous ending, Hugh once again shipped off Diana to find peace on Earth, while he withered away in space. But as I noted in Chapter 2, there was a subtle change to the unknown signal ending.
Welcome back. What's this? Traveling alone today?
There we go. Oh! Take a picture. Oh.
My journey was coming to an end. Despite having to replay the entire story on Lunatic difficulty, the platinum was so close, since I only needed to obtain one more trophy before getting another notch on my platinum belt. But the next task felt extremely daunting. I had heard multiple accounts about Lunatic's difficulty. It was too easy, it was miserable, I didn't know what to expect going into it. And for a second, it felt like it was going to be the latter.
Whoa! He charged that shit. I thought he was just frozen. Oh shit. Ah, it still killed me.
But I was just too tense. I took those descriptions of agony as truth, instead of going into this difficulty with an open mindset, because I wasn't too confident in my own skills. You see, I'm not afraid to cut corners when I have to, like when I spam 700 arrows against one of the toughest bosses in Crimson Desert. However, I showcased moments of brilliance in this game. I took out each of the enhanced bosses in one fell swoop. Hell, I even defeated 8 without taking a single hit in our first fight. So I decided to chill out, play the game at my own speed, using the same tactics that brought me to this point, and all of a sudden, Lunatic became a walk in the park. Unlike my first playthrough, I collected every upgradable item, completed every red zone, and 3-starred practically every simulation as they were unlocked, so I could gradually improve my guns, abilities, and stats as the enemies improved. And despite some close calls and a few deaths, I always felt like I was in control.
Got him! Let's go!
Despite having to start from scratch, this playthrough truly felt like a New Game Plus run, given the vast amount of knowledge I obtained in my first playthrough, and employed in this current run, making this one of the most satisfying playthroughs I've had in years.
Oh, it's over. It's over. I'm about to kill this bitch. I'm about to kill this bitch! Fuck you, fucking worm. Bang!
I was having so much fun with this playthrough that it got me thinking, was this my preferred style of playing video games? For years, my favorite games were open world adventures like Breath of the Wild, RDR2, any of the GTA games. But was my brain chemistry changing? Before I could even come to a definitive stance, I had done it. I brought myself back to the final boss. It only took me 2 days to get to this point. So with the positive momentum pushing me forward, I jumped into the final fight at full force. And early on, it looked like this was going to be another decisive victory. But there was one issue. Despite taking out a huge chunk of 8's health early, I struggled taking out more of her health during the final phase. My kit and playstyle revolved around quick hacking, overheating, and building up Diana's deletion protocol. But with 8's absurd hacking sequence, overheating and building up Diana's overdrive gauge looked out of the question. Regardless, I tried this method again.
Oh my god. No!
With my third attempt, I went for a more aggressive style, which required using the limb cannon at more opportunities, but it left me more vulnerable. My fourth attempt was looking especially bright. I had brought 8's health down to nearly halfway, and I hadn't even used my deletion protocol yet. But I really wanted to use it and get some extra damage in. The only issue was that I pretty much wasted it due to a cutscene.
What? Whoa, 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 no! That just ruined everything.
After fiddling with different ideas during my first 4 runs, I decided to mix both of my previous methods into my 5th run, using deletion protocol early to guarantee that it dealt significant damage, while using the limb cannon and charge piercer at every significant opportunity. I also started spamming hacks as much as I could in the early phase to further build on 8's heat gauge and Diana's overdrive gauge. And this combination of ideas would quickly put 8 and all of her madness at death's doorstep.
Come on, come on, come on. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Yeah! Woo! Oh, I did it.
And of course, there was still the final section against the dead filament monster, but this part hadn't changed. And forgive me, but I've encountered blue screens so many times this year, in practically every video game I've played, so I skipped the cutscenes to ensure that I didn't have to fight 8 again.
Woo! Lunar supremacy done. Which means... Pragmata is mine! Well, I do it every video. Platinum 128. Pragmata. Done, baby! Woo! Oh my god.
And that was Pragmata. Probably the best game that I've played within the last year. Now, did it alter my brain chemistry? Kinda. I still prefer the likes of Breath of the Wild and Grand Theft Auto, but I would love to play more games built like this one. With all that said, I'd like to give this Platinum a 4 out of 10 difficulty rating. From top to bottom, this game was insanely polished, and any struggles I encountered were simply due to my own lack of skill. Once I opened myself up to everything that this game had to offer, it became so much more rewarding and fun. Thank you to everyone who tuned into this video. It means a lot that you would take time out of your day to view a little part of my world. If you enjoyed my retelling of this Platinum experience, then please subscribe, as I try to drop a new Platinum experience every month. Now, if you can excuse me, but I have to go. Agent Bond is on the call.